Look up, look down, look slowly from one side to the other, and cross the street. Join us where the grass is greener, and where the bus will take you somewhere unexpected. Welcome to your education. The big news today in our beloved town of Nowhere, Kansas. A new school has erupted from the previously vacant Randolph-Carter fault line. The school, appropriately titled the Randolph-Carter Charter School for Unusually Gifted Students, has flooded the community with application forms and vouchers for those deemed superbly unusual and supernaturally gifted. Robed and hooded figures calling themselves teachers and administrators have also been flooding the community, roaming around with strange devices which they say can detect unusual gifts. Obviously, these events have been most distressing to the already extant Nowhere public school system. Nowhere High Principal Jonathan Stafford was quoted as saying, "We will not stand for these fly-by-night private schools, and neither will the rest of the community. Our gifted students are happy just where they are, thank you very much." The Nowhere City Council and many parents of gifted students, however, feel very differently. Parents don't want their special students contaminated by such an unsafe environment as a public school, and in fact wish that the normie school, as they call it, would fall into a crater and leave their future rulers of the cosmos alone. The City Council expressed a similar attitude, adding that with any luck, Nowhere will soon hold greater sway over the untapped, unseen void than those charlatans in Sunnydale. Looks like the Nowhere High Dark Arts and Crafts Club will have to cook up something truly spectacular for their fundraiser this year, or else there may not be any more Nowhere High clubs, or any more Nowhere High. Speaking of those charismatic yet indescribable members of the Nowhere City Council, they have recently introduced a new act called No Child Left Unwatched. Under this act, every child, except those chosen for the Randolph-Carter Charter School, will be forced to wear an electronic wristband that records their blood pressure, body temperature, aura color, mental state, and cumulative scores on standardized tests. If any of these elements falls below a certain numeric value, the child's location will be reported, and the psychic police will take the child away for immediate re-education. Also, the parents of the child will be fined for the cost to keep the psychic police away from those who are not their designated targets, as well as the mental anguish caused by their mere presence. When asked to comment on the potential problems and profits caused by NCLU, the City Council replied, "The modern public school student has too little to fear in the course of a normal day, and thus sees no reason to perform above those detestable layabouts in Sunnydale. This sort of behavior and our standardized test scores must be improved immediately." No high school teachers or administrators could be reached for a counter-opinion, citing a rational fear of the City Council and their psychic police. Unless some sort of opposition arises, either from this world or the next, NCLU will be implemented in the upcoming semester. My heart goes out to all students currently enrolled at Nowhere High. Hit the books hard, and don't stop hitting until the books stop screaming. Now, to those of you who think I might not be giving the public school system enough of a voice on this radio program, I direct you both to the many suspicious disappearances of those who have spoken out against recent education reforms, and to our next segment. I sat down with a shadowy individual who refused to identify herself to talk about what should be done to make our public schools great and ineffable once more. While I was forbidden to record this conversation in any analog or digital form, I am blessed with an immaculate memory for journalism. My informant believed that the main problem facing the public school system is that the current curriculum fails to prepare children for their real-world activities in the community. Teachers are forced to spend so much time educating students in the ways of basic math, canonical literature, athletics, psychological warfare, and all levels of test preparation, when what they really need to learn is how to write, how to think critically, how to speak the old and nigh unspeakable languages, Italian, modified Italian, irregularly corrected French, and highly dangerous Spanish, and how to disappear into an ominously bureaucratic and hegemonic system. Young adults are thrust out into the community like the proverbial goats to the slaughter, with almost no option other than marrying the high school sweetheart, moving into a nice hovel in the suburbs, and climbing the ranks at the local supermarket or general store. Only a rare few will rise to the challenge of gazing into the abyss at Silver Key University when there could be so many more. At this point, my interviewee raised her head, sniffed the air, and sped from our undisclosed location with great velocity, but not without imparting some highly valuable information first. I hope that teachers and administrators can somehow work to improve our public school curriculum without incurring the wrath of our great council or that of any other private schools which our town may accrue. And finally, a lighter piece of news. Last week, little Isaac Cooper brought a strange new computer to his elementary school classroom, saying that he had found it on the ground over by the Moonlight Crater Fields. Miss Blackwood, Isaac's teacher, had no idea how to operate the device, but all of her students experienced hours of entertainment by basking in the computer's green glow and tapping at its intricately carved keyboard of indeterminate characters. Today, Isaac and all of his classmates came to school floating 6 inches off the ground and sporting vastly oversized craniums, as well as telekinetic talents to rival those of the psychic police. What is truly surprising is that these superpowered youngsters, in a stunning display of loyalty, have used their newfound gifts to return the Randolph Carter Charter School and its faculty to the molten bowels of the earth from whence they came. No word yet as to how this will affect No Child Left Unwatched and other recent developments, but I, for one, have complete confidence that tomorrow's paper will show our benevolent and all-knowing City Council in a favorable light. Until then, dear listeners, remember the 3 gilded R's: reading, writing, and wrangling the effluvial grime of the universe to do our bidding. Good night.